hanging in Paris. She's into music, dancing, psychology, people. All right, guys. WMAP. This is the world's most amazing people, and I am so excited because I have a tremendous guest, guys, that's coming up, and pretty soon we're going to be hearing from Mr. Gleb Tsipursky, and hopefully I'm saying it right. I went over it and I practiced it with my friend Gleb and everything, so we'll see. But in a minute, I'm going to get him up and we're going to speak with him. He's doing some really, really cool work that I'm going to tell you about, and it's benefiting everybody. But as you know, in the meantime, I have to play a station ID real quick. So let me get that out of the way, guys, and I'll be right back with Gleb. So stay tuned here, WMAP. My name is Casey Armstrong, and I am the CEO and I am the voice of WMAP Radio, which stands for the world's most amazing people. When we started this station, the whole idea was we're trying to inspire you with stories of everyone else. Look, everybody has a story. There's something special about everybody. I don't care who you are. When I see your face. All right, guys, back here, WMAP. This is the world's most amazing people, and we are live. We are here in the new studio, and hopefully everything is sounding okay for you guys. I believe it is, so that's a great thing, and I'll tell you more about the new studio and where we're going later. But right now, I was telling you a little bit about Gleb Tsipursky, and he is the founder of Intentional Insights, which is this research-based behavioral science used strategies that comes out in articles and basically ways where people can get this information. And it's a nonprofit, and the website is intentionalinsights.org, and I think it's really cool, and I can't wait to learn about this. So guys, with no further ado, it's my honor and my privilege to welcome to the show Mr. Gleb Tsipursky. Gleb, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, and thank you so much for having me on the show.
Well, I'm glad that you're here, and I hope I pronounced the name right. Did I do that?
You did fine.
Okay.
You did fine.
Cool. So, Intentional Insights. Now, I was reading a little bit about it, and you were telling me a little bit about it. It sounds really, really cool and something really different. Can you explain it to the audience a little bit about what Intentional Insights is and what you do there?
Sure, happy to explain. So, in brief, what we do is we take articles that are very complex and academic, that come out in academic journals, about how we actually make decisions, about emotional intelligence, social intelligence, the science of decision-making, and popularize these articles in a way that ordinary folks can actually enjoy reading them and gain from them. These articles are, the ones that are in academic journals are written for academics, very dense, jargony, and unless you have a university ID, they cost about $30 to read per article. Our articles are all free, and we create articles, videos, podcasts, books, apps that help people improve their lives and their decision-making. And the reason we're doing this is because something that folks often don't realize, is that really the only things under our control in life are our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the only things we can control in life. We can't control what happens outside of ourselves. We can't control other people. We can't control the environment. We can only control our responses to it, so our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. And in order to accomplish all of our goals, whether in business, whether in personal relationships, whether in politics, in any area of our lives, the only things we can manage and to do that are our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. And we take the research on how to do that, so real, credible, science-based strategies, and popularize them for a broad audience.
It's a great idea and really terrific, and because it's helping other people and it's all for other people. Now, Gleb, what made you start this? What made you put this together? I mean, it's brilliant.
Thank you so much. Well, what made me put it together is I saw in my own research. So I'm a professor at Ohio State. I've been here for about 5 years, so tenure-track professor. I research these topics myself, and I see that they are so useful. And other professors who I know who they take these strategies and they internalize them and they practice them and they get so much benefit from them. But these strategies aren't accessible to the ordinary person who doesn't know the research behind what goes on. And as a result, I see people around me making really poor decisions and often disastrous decisions that lead to really bad consequences in their personal relationships, in their business. I see leaders in corporations making really bad decisions all the time that lead to the ruin of their business. And so this is why I started doing this stuff, popularizing it, because I didn't want to see people suffer like they do because of bad decisions that lead them down their own path, because they don't realize that their thoughts, feelings, and behaviors are what cause them to make bad decisions. And those can be actually improved.
I understand. And you being a college professor, I bet you see poor decisions every day.
Yes, I see poor decisions every day, and I observe the world around me. Of course, students make bad decisions. Administrators make bad decisions. There are lots of folks who make bad decisions. This is why my articles on this are published in venues like Time, Psychology Today, Huffington Post. Prominent companies bring me in to be a consultant on these topics because this is an innovative thing and they want to improve their decision making and avoid making disastrous decisions.
Wow, this is
a little bit about that, but that's a thing that happens often and really help them address their decision making processes.
This is really cool because it's really different. I don't think I've ever interviewed anyone who is doing anything like this. I think it's really great because the end product is you're doing this to help students, people, CEOs, or people that are working on your car. So this is pretty much, you never really find stuff where you're actually helping everybody, and it's pretty great, Professor. Now, let me ask you though, when you had this idea and you're going to implement it and you're going to do this, I guarantee that you came up against some pretty stiff challenges. Can you care to tell me about some of them when you were putting this thing together and starting up?
Sure, happy to share. So when I was starting up, the challenges that I came up against is still the challenge that I keep coming up against, which is that folks don't realize that these are things we can improve. We are not taught in school how to make good decisions.
Yeah.
We're not taught how to manage our emotions, how to manage our thoughts, and how to manage our behaviors. These aren't things that are educated on. That people study geology or math or English or history or stuff like that. They aren't taught these basic things, which are in a way much more fundamental and much more important than any specific subject you may study. Because when you make good decisions, you're going to be much better off in all areas of your life as opposed to any specific topic area or any specific area of one's life. Good decisions impact everything. Now, when I was starting up, and still what we're facing is that people don't realize they can make better decisions, so they don't seek out this content. So I need to go out and tell people that this is a problem and that this is a solvable problem. Because people intuitively think, oh, this person makes better decisions, this person makes worse decisions, well, I'm going to go with the person who makes better decisions. They don't realize that decision-making can be improved, that they can make better decisions. I'll give you an example. So you said about someone, working on your car. In a workshop I was there was someone who had an old car, and they kept putting money into repairing that old car. Now, a basic strategy of improved decision-making is taking a long-term approach. So I asked him, well, imagine what would the situation be like in a year from now? The car would keep getting worse, and he would keep having to pour money into it, rather than, maybe he can sell this car and get a better used car or crash his car. And he realized that just by putting numbers on it, he can make a much better decision. In a year from now, he'll be much better off by not putting money into his old car, but by getting a new car. a new used car. So that was a relatively simple thing, but most people don't realize. Most people keep putting money into whatever's broken.
Right. Yeah.
They don't make that decision. Same thing for CEOs. They keep putting money into projects that are obviously bad or will not pan out. And the psychological reasoning behind this is something called sunken costs. So it's a sunken cost fallacy, where because we already put money into something, we feel committed
yeah.
to that thing.
I understand completely, yes.
Yes. So we feel committed to the thing, and it all comes from our emotions. It doesn't come from rational decision-making. We feel emotionally attached to this object or to this project. And so companies bring me in to help them address these kind of sunken costs, make wise decisions, and my presentations and workshops for ordinary folks like you and me help them make good decisions about their cars, or, same thing with relationships. People tend to be way too attached to relationships that aren't working out for them.
Yeah. This is such a great topic, and you're doing something really, really cool. And I'm sorry we have run way over here, but I got to get you back on where we could talk a lot more. Guys, if you just tuned in, you missed something really great. I'm talking about the founder and the man behind Intentional Insights, which is, you can get the information if you go on the web. You go to www.intentionalinsights.org, and this is a really great information. And my friend Gleb, let me try this again. Tsipursky. Did I do it? Did I do it again? Did I nail it again? Tsipursky.
Yes. This is fine.
All right. So Glenn, I got to have you back on where you can explain a lot more of these topics, and I really like what you're doing. And I got to thank you for being one of the world's most amazing people.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate being on the show, and I'll be glad to come back on and have a longer conversation.
Great. Thanks so much, Gleb. All right, guys. That was Gleb Tsipursky, and what a terrific guest. And we're going to be hearing, hopefully, more from him. A lot of new stuff coming up, guys. A lot of new live guests that we have that will be on coming up throughout the day.